Welcome in, guys. You're listening to or possibly watching Three Girls, One Office, where we discuss life's ups, downs, and all arounds. And we've got a phenomenal show in store for you today. An incredible guest, which we're so excited about. And we are recording our podcast live right here in Westchester Studios. And if there's ever been a thought in your mind about starting a podcast, this is the place to do it. Definitely check it out right outside of the borough. The professionalism, the talent in this building is incredible. And they are super fun to work with. So definitely check that out. We are going to start off. Dee is going to kick us off in introducing a phenomenal guest. So tell us what we got going on.
I'm so happy. I have my friend Dianne here.
Hi,
Welcome. Dianne. I met Dianne when I was working in a preschool, and her son was in my class. She also is a yoga instructor. She had her own studio. Right? For many, many years, she opened up a float spa.
Oh, my
That was
gosh.
the best. But she's going to talk to us all about what led her to yoga and why she chose this path.
Welcome, Dianne.
We're
so excited.
We're so
happy.
happy. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You have 2 boys. You live local.
Yeah, so I grew up in Havertown.
Yay!
Wait, so did I.
Yes.
So
Oh
did
my
I.
God, we'll have to. That's going to be an
We'll talk
offline
about that.
conversation.
Yeah, it's
We-
family.
Yeah,
It's Delco.
it's
Yeah.
Delco. It is Delco.
And I went to school for fashion merchandising.
So did I.
Oh, that's
And I'm a realtor now. So there you go. You know.
so that's what I did. I lived in New York, but my yoga journey really starts like before that because my second year of college, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. So that's sort of like really, I stayed, I graduated, but that sort of started my progression into just kind of like I was having a lot of PTSD symptoms once I was cured and back out in the world. So I graduated, I moved to New York, but I was like, had so much anxiety. So people kept saying, this was a long time ago. So at the time, yoga was thought of as like chanting and meditating.
and stuff.
And I thought,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. And everyone kept saying, like, check it out. So I went, and there wasn't like studios back then that there are now. So I went to this health food store. On top of the store, they had a class, and it was this guy teaching it. And it was a bunch of women. And at first I really liked it. Then I hated it. He was flirting with some of the girls. It was just super distracting.
While you're barefoot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was like kind of a dirty health food, upstairs.
Ew.
But I was like, I'm kind of sleeping pretty good. Like, this is interesting.
There's something to this. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I kind of was checking out different studios. I met my husband. You know, we traveled around a little bit. And all along our path, we lived in Florida for a short time. I kept checking out studios, and I met someone there who was like, you need to do this. Like, you need to go for this yoga. Anyway, long story short, we moved back to Philadelphia. I stayed in fashion merchandising. And I got really regular into my practice. I had my first son, and at the time, the studio I was practicing at, the owner said, hey, I'm going to sell. You know, are you interested? And I just sort of was like, this is the time.
Yeah. It's like a sign.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
traveling so much for work, like it wasn't really feasible with my son. So, so I kind of like had the baby, took over a studio, and did my yoga teacher training like all within a short period of time.
You went for it.
Yeah. So that's kind of the start of the journey. I mean, here I am. I did own a studio for 10 years. Now I'm a lead teacher, manager at a yoga studio in Wayne. My boys are 15 and 11.
Wow.
Same husband.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a...
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you prefer, what type of yoga is it? Because I know there's, you were saying people thought it was just chanting. There's different types of yoga. Can you tell us what type do you?
Yeah, so back when I started and back when I opened up my studio, it was very honestly more of a spiritual experience. You know,
Okay.
there was power yoga and things like that, but you know, now I own my studio. I closed it during COVID, so things have gotten progressively more on the athletic style.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've sort of like kind of flowed into that, but what I love about it is it's just really, it's for anyone now. Like it used to be, you'd go in, you'd hear a lot of Sanskrit, you know, rather than saying like Warrior Two, they'd say Virabhadrasana, and people are looking around like,
it's
what is
intimidating.
that?
Yeah.
Intimidating.
Very.
Yeah.
So I think now there's combinations. There's still kind of those like spiritual, and then there's ones like where I'm at is very clear cut what style you're getting. So it's got power. There's a lot more like sculpt classes now where you're doing, you know, yoga and lifting weights. So you're getting more cardio.
There's like I know hot yoga is.
So I love hot yoga.
Yeah?
I feel like
yeah.
it probably like is like a religious experience almost. You get just
Yeah.
I've never
once you
done
get
it.
used to the heat,
Yeah.
your muscles are warm, you're sweating. Like I really do love the heat. I never thought I would love the heat. When I had a studio, we had, you hear the style of vinyasa.
yes.
The problem with that is like you could go to one vinyasa class and get one thing, and then you go to another and you get another. Like it's such a broad term, meaning it's a flow class. But I offered vinyasa and stretch and slow flow, and then heated vinyasa, which is my favorite. I like to flow and move. I don't like a static. There's something for everyone though. There's you know, more of a static style and more of a flow style.
Wait, is vinyasa? Explain to me what that is.
That's what I just said with the
Wait.
Sanskrit, right?
Is that when? Go ahead. Explain.
So vinyasa means just like flow. So
Okay.
so when you think of that, like kind of the high push up, low push up, sending your chest forward,
Like flowing from one position to another
yes,
kind of
exactly.
Okay.
It's all about that kind of flowing transition.
thing. Okay.
Where there's static styles. You know, if you think of Bikram, that's more of you're moving through the 26 poses and it's more static. So it's more like, okay, I'm in tree pose. Now I'm in this pose, you know. So I've always kind of connected with the flow. I have a dancer background. So to me, that feels more like my body's, you know, artistic almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you find that yoga, you know, now that it's definitely more for everybody or anybody, when you think about like strength and building muscle and weight loss, is there a form of yoga that is kind of geared towards that specifically? Or is it, you know, when I've done yoga, which is a very limited knowledge that I have, you know, for me it was more about meditation and kind of release and that kind of thing. So when I think about gaining muscle and weight loss, are there some forms of yoga that are kind of geared toward that?
I mean, now, so that was always the biggest question when I owned a studio was like, will I lose weight? And my theory then, it's different now, but my theory then is it's not so much that you're going to go in the class and you're just burning calories. You know, it's not that type of class, but you're really, and this is why I started doing it, was to get in a better, healthier headspace. You're really learning how to breathe and slow down, and you start to really, so I went into it more for the mental aspect, but then all of a sudden my core is stronger, my legs are stronger, you know. I've been more of a flexible person, so I, you know, for me, that was like, wow, I can do all these things. So it's kind of the result of that is like you're leading this healthier lifestyle. I'm suddenly sleeping more, so now I'm eating better. So that was kind of the, and I still think that. So even if you take, you know, a slow flow class, which I love slow flow classes, like the strength that you're building, you're using your core, so your posture's getting better, and it's not these like sit-ups, you know. So I think you get that from any class. You know, there's restorative options, which is much more about relaxing, and
That's
sort
what I
of
like.
thing.
Yeah.
I like the lay down on the floor. And
It's like
and
overall
I've taken-
wellness,
yeah.
awareness.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, I will say now, there's a lot more power yoga options. There's sculpt and flow or yoga sculpt options. So, yes. So you're getting...
Like hybrid classes almost, I see sometimes too.
And they're fun. But
Yeah.
for me, it's a really different experience. I'm not necessarily mentally calming down. So it's a balance. I like to take those and the other ones. But so you're doing yoga stretching for your core, but then you've got these kind of light weights and resistance bands, and it's really fun. So
Especially
that's
if you're really busy, it might help you. It's kind of like you're doing a little bit of centering of yourself. You're stretching, but you're also getting a little bit of strength training in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're just taking that time mentally, I guess, too, like to sort of slow it all down here and physically,
Yeah.
How do you, I don't know that I'm a yoga person, and I say that because my brain is constantly
what I wanted-
going, and
I
I'm
was gonna
constantly like, I need to be on to the next. But I feel like it probably would be very beneficial for me to push through. Do you think that there's like a certain type of person that just can't get it, and a certain type that benefit from, or is it just with practice? Does your brain kind of?
I was gonna say, yeah. Like I just to piggyback on that real quick. Like when they in class when they'll say like clear your mind, whatever. Then all I think about is clearing my mind. It's on my mind. I gotta clear my mind.
Yeah.
So tell us like a little bit about that whole mindset and.
So you'll probably hear a lot, and like you don't really hear yoga class. You hear yoga practice, right?
Yes,
Because that's
yes.
how it should be worded. So it is a practice.
Okay.
I have seen. So I've been teaching since 2011. So I've seen a lot of different students come through at different places, and I remember having a student that she was really particular. She'd call me before class and say, "Can you put my mat down in my spot?" And she'd leave. The final pose is Shavasana or corpse pose, where you just lay there and you're supposed to
That's what
bring
I'm
it
there
all
for.
together.
Yeah, that's what I'm there for.
I've seen you pull that at Gage. I've seen you tell that.
So she would leave. Every class she would get up and leave, and I would say, like, this is the most important part of the practice. Like, this is where it all comes together for you, and it's that kind of space between your practice and getting back to the real world. Like, gift yourself that.
Yeah.
And she slowly started doing it for a little more, and she was a doctor, and she was always on the go. So I've seen a lot of people like that. I had someone that used to say, like, okay, so I got to Shavasana, and all I could think about was I was hungry, and I'm going to go to Wawa after this.
Yeah, or
and
like I have a doctor's appointment later.
Yeah.
Or like whatever.
So it's hard to turn it off. So
Yeah.
it is a practice. It's a practice of like, okay, I'm laying there. Maybe you start thinking about what you did in class and like, oh my God, I nailed that pose, or it felt so different. Like, it's all about where you choose to put your mind. So I always say, like, you have a choice where your mind goes. So you can lead in that direction, just keep following the path, or you can just sit there like, okay, and breathe and focus on something, just something. And sometimes like it's music, right? So we play music. Studio I'm at now where we love music. So a lot of times it's really just listening to the music, but the other thing is a lot of times people and I do the same thing, like my mind will get distracted and then I get to I can't believe I can't calm down. I get mad at myself, and that's the point where you need to stop and be like, I'm human. This is my practice. So maybe today I'm distracted, but tomorrow I do this again, and suddenly I'm just my breathing. And there's different ways you can focus on belly breath, or like there's so many different ways to breathe that you can really focus on,
So how long do you think, so let's just say beginner.
Yeah.
Dee and I walk in.
And we're like
They're
this.
like this. We're hungry.
Yeah.
We want to go to Wawa.
Yeah.
We want to dance.
Yeah. Right.
How long do you think it would take people like us to sort of get into the practice, or to at least start to be in the moment of it?
The first thing I think too is finding the right place.
Sure.
I've been in studios where everyone looks the same and everyone's kind of checking each other out. And I don't connect as a teacher there, right? But I've been in studios, the one I'm at now, my studio, I felt like if you walk in and you see men, women, young, old.
Yeah.
So that's the community, in my opinion, you want to be at. You want to walk
Yeah.
in and you want to feel comfortable and you want to feel not judged.
Like everyone can come here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's really important because there are many studios that are not overly welcoming, and there's many that are. So I think finding that connection and knowing that, as in my first experience, like I could have taken that teacher and said, like, what is this? Or I could have kept going and trying to find someone I connect with. So I also think, and a teacher could have a bad night too. So you want to give the teacher a chance. So I think the studio connecting with a teacher, timing wise is it's different for everyone. So you want to find maybe a beginner's class, and then you kind of progress from there, or even just more of a gentle class.
Right.
My theory is if you want to do it, you want to grow with it, then you kind of determine your growth, how, but also the body, and you guys all work out and you're active. So it's not quite such a challenge in that aspect, but everyone should start. I mean, I have people that take my classes that are in their 80s or just had a hip replaced and they're in there. So
so good, yeah.
There's just finding your class, your teacher, your connection, and your path is your own,
Yeah.
I always found that when I've done yoga, I don't feel pressure to keep up with everyone. It's more pushing myself to where I want to, it's my own. You're right, it's your practice.
Yeah.
Or we go to the gym. They used to have before, long before, they used to have a free. One of the members was a yoga instructor, and she would do a class every Sunday. It was free to members, and I started going, and for me, and it was very quiet and mellow, and I'm not used to being in that environment. Usually it's loud, and it was so nice and quiet, and it just felt so good to stretch and just focus on myself, and it was relaxing, but also it felt good on my muscles. It was the perfect way to end my workout week and start my coming week. I felt like it was a great addition. The thing is with me is that, and probably a lot of people, there's so many types of yoga, and then now they're saying, oh, you should strength train, and there's classes, Zumba classes, and there's this class and that class. It's hard to be able to do. I want to do everything.
Yeah.
Then I see there's yoga with the silk ties that you jump around, and I'm like, I just want to do all these things. So it's always hard to fit it all in. So it's nice if yoga is just a once or twice a week thing that you can do for yourself. Is there a wrong or right kind of path with yoga?
No, I think whenever you get there,
even if it's a 10-minute in the morning, just
if you can do it, I always say if you can get up in the morning and do some yoga stretches for 10, 15 minutes, or just breathe. I'm trying to actually do that more than to me, there's in a more historical sense, there's 8 limbs of yoga, and only one of them is the physical practice. And then there's also breathing. So if you look at it from the historical perspective, the physical is just a small part of it.
Okay.
So if you can incorporate the movement, the breath, you're already doing it, What's special about going to a class is you're with the community, you're kind of in it together. If you're in a heated class and everyone's sweating and it's just, it's hard, and you look around at each other and it's
Right.
You might not know the person,
It's
but they
the
become your
community.
friends.
Yeah, it is the community.
That's what I love about working out or doing something like that.
I think too, it's for me, it's the connection, with your mind and your body. You are connecting the dots, in that you are being conscious of your movements. Where when I work out, a lot of times I'm just working out and I'm this is hard, and I'm where that seems a little less intense in the I got to get it done.
It's a more subtle way that you are because the next day you wake up after a certain class and you're like,
oh yeah, I've done it. It's
subtle.
Yeah.
And I think we've been, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think we've just been, I don't know, it's been ingrained that if you're not grunting and feeling like you're really doing it, then it's not considered like a hard workout or something.
I mean, I want to run. I want to be like, oh, I'm like walking in circles. Like I want to have that.
I think
hardcore.
it's a balance.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't personally think anyone should do one workout, right?
Yep.
So, so I run, right? And I always say running, like, it's cardio, it's intense, and I get clear-headed, suddenly, like, if I'm indecisive about something, it comes to me, like, I should do this.
Yeah.
But when I'm in the yoga room, it's the one time that I really am not thinking about all those outside factors. I'm really, like, in tune with how my body's feeling, I'm breathing, and that is a practice, but that's why it's a balance. I think it's important to do all the different things. You can't do everything. There's so much now, just like you said.
There really is. It's insane. Like, I want to try it all.
Yeah,
I know. It looks,
and then you kind of figure out what you want to dedicate your time.
Right.
A couple of different things, but
my dad did do a lot of things in the fitness world, and he always did yoga. And I always took that as like his recovery, not necessarily, he would implement that into his routine. He was a runner just like you. He was, he did strength training and he did yoga. And he always talked about the benefits of yoga, and he and I are a lot alike, where he liked the grunt too, but he was like, you need to do yoga. And I definitely have tried it. And then I just never got to the point, kind of like running, where I've dabbled in it, but I could never get to the mindset. And that's a hard thing to come by when you're used to not having that mindset and just like working out to move and to like almost
like
punish
work out
yourself till failure type of thing, and you want to just kind of push through it. So the mindset, I think, is a whole different, like, just level of wellness.
Well, and you can look at it too like a goal, right? So you have a goal with, like, maybe, you want to lift a certain, or, I see all your videos of all the cool stuff you're doing. So, like, you look at it as a goal as well. Like, there's arm balances, there's, there's all sorts of different things. So it's cool to see your progression in yoga, right? Like you feel your flexibility change. So a lot of like athletes and runners take yoga, and that is part of, they might be more inclined to take a power class, but that's part of it, is that they're like, I'm hitting my goal,
My son's football team in his high school, they have to do yoga. Like they have the yoga teacher come in and work with them. He's like, can I use your yoga mat? I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the flexibility.
yeah. And he's like, it was so much harder than I thought. Like, it was, because he didn't know what to expect, because he'd never done it, and so I think it's great they're implementing it in different, and honestly, in phys ed classes now, I know he's done yoga in that too. Both my sons have. So it's like definitely becoming
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And in our gym class, there's like basketball and mat ball. I don't remember what mat ball was, but we always wanted to play. Wait,
Yeah,
what was it? I don't
even know what that is.
always remember and
the
have
bases are mats, and more than one person can be on
It's
the
a
mat.
kickball.
Okay.
Up a notch.
What's the
Yes.
game that you play with the big red ball and you throw it at people? That's what we did.
Dodgeball?
Like dodgeball.
Dodgeball.
Yeah,
Thank you.
like
That's what I
that's
did.
Yeah.
Yes.
like that's the games we've. I
So-
want to play a game of
So
dodgeball.
I think, but I think it's great to that they're at a young age, and like I see a lot of like mommy and me, and like,
Yeah.
yoga's starting at a younger age, because I think there is something for everyone out there, whether it's yoga, whether it's playing soccer, whether it's strength training, whatever. But at a young age, you can do something for yourself, for your mind and your body, and some people that might feel the pressure to be a soccer player or something at a young age, and maybe they don't want to do that, but they want to do like something like yoga is something they can connect with.
Yeah.
Well, I think you said it perfectly earlier when you were saying about the member that would always leave during that most, like, you deserve. It's almost like a gift to yourself in your wellness sort of journey.
Sometimes it's hard though to kind of
It is.
connect to like think about yourself and to. It's hard. I feel
Especially as busy women, I think we always, put ourselves
Yeah.
Yes.
last a lot. Now, I have another question. So, in reading all about you, I'm very interested in learning more about meditation, because my husband does transcendental meditation. And he's like, he can meditate through anything. Like a train can come through the house. Whereas like I've never. I mean, he went to a course. He learned how to do it.
Great.
I've done some mindfulness like meditation and stuff like that, but I've never really devoted myself to meditating every day. I know you meditate. Can you talk a little bit about when you started doing that, what it's like for you? Just teach us the way.
My whole yoga journey always goes back to my illness, right?
Okay.
So I started meditating then. I didn't know what I was doing. I was 19, so I used to sit in my room and breathe. And I remember it starting as like, that forced breath.
Yeah.
I will calm down.
Yeah.
And then it just like, the physical practice, it's practice. So I started then not having any clue what I was doing. And then I continued with it and started reading more about it. I got some books on it because when you get anxious, I needed to learn to guide myself on my own to calm down, right? So, and I'm not a big ask for help person. So this was all like self-taught,
Okay.
like I have to calm myself. And that also tied with when I started taking classes and they would talk about breathing, and every yoga class should be. In the beginning, you're centering.
Right.
You're catching your breath. You're kind of letting the thoughts of your day go and kind of bringing your focus in. And then at the end, how do I get through this 3 to 5 minute shavasana if I can't shut my brain down? So go back to the breath. Now, since then, there is so many kinds of meditation. So what I always say is meditation doesn't need to look like sitting in a quiet room, cross-legged.
Yeah. With your hands like this.
Hands, right?
Yes. Like
It doesn't need to look like that.
stereotypical what you're picturing. Yes.
Right. For most people, me included, that is really hard. Really hard, especially if you're sitting in your own house, and the dryer goes off or something, the phone rings.
Yep.
So I always say start simple, and you can take a walk, or go for a little hike. And that is a form of meditation. You're breathing, you're lost in nature. So I always say, start in that aspect rather than the forced,
Yeah,
I'm
this
breathing,
is what we're doing.
I'm meditating.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I really connect with, and now I teach it, is like a fully guided
I was going to
meditation.
say,
Yes.
YouTube has, I have found
Yes.
someone there that my therapist had recommended. And it's, because there's so many.
There's so many.
And I will tell you, and my son probably, he won't listen to this, but if he did, he was, when he was younger in middle school, he was having some anxiety about like new school, getting up early, like just the whole new. And so I started putting him on at night for him and just to calm him down. And it really helped. I mean, I don't ask him if he's still listening to them or whatever, but the self-guided ones are very helpful.
It's like,
Kind of hold your hands
especially as moms, right? Sometimes, and you don't, and dog moms.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, you don't. Yeah,
You don't want, don't you sometimes just want, like, can someone else just tell me what to do?
Yeah.
I'm tired of making decisions all day long, no
Yes.
matter what you're doing. So, guided is like being told what to do, one, so you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
And two, it's really a great way to kind of get lost in that person. There's apps. There's apps that you can pick,
Calm.
like 10 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yes.
I guide what's called a yoga nidra, which I know there's YouTube
Yes.
and videos, and that's fully guided, and it takes you through breathing, body scan, just kind of like fingers, and
Yes.
I think you may have
I
done
think
one
I
with
have.
me, I think.
Yes, I think so.
And it's like you're kind of saying like, okay, thumb, right finger,
Yeah.
you're going
enjoy
through the
that,
whole
yeah.
body. It's the opposite sensation. Visualize something when you're really cold. Now visualize when you're really warm. So it's just kind of this whole journey.
Okay.
And I guide it. People fall asleep sometimes. They come back to it, and that's the whole beauty of it. Is I say it's like dropping into screensaver mode. So you're not asleep, but you're not fully conscious, and you still hear my voice. And that, for me, to practice is my absolute favorite. So that's why I started guiding it, because I thought, like, well, if this helps me. This
You do
must
have a
help
very, I
others.
will say,
Oh,
your voice, you have a way.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's
It's
very
like,
Where
Comment
are
for
we
this.
going to find you?
Yes.
This is
Yeah,
where
so
this
tell
is
us-
what I need to
tell-
know.
yeah,
Where we
let's
find
tell
you.
everyone
Where
where
do we
find
find
you.
you?
So I'm teaching at Yoga 6 in St. Wayne.
Okay.
It's next to the Chick-fil-A.
How great. We
Yeah.
can meditate and then
We will
eat
not
chicken.
be thinking about Chick-fil-A
I will
while
be.
we're there.
I
will
it's
be,
also near
probably
Pliables and Starbucks.
Okay.
Oh,
See?
my-
But everyone's
there you
like,
go.
oh, the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
It's a landmark, you know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good. All right. A lot of things to do.
Okay,
And I
so
teach
yoga
the range there. I teach slow flow. I teach the hot classes. I teach meditation.
Okay.
I don't teach the sculpt and flow, but I like to take them.
Okay, so we could take it with you.
I think three
I
girls
think
need to
we're
make a
gonna
little
come visit.
day trip over to see
We need
you.
to.
And then hit up the Starbucks
And the
Chick-fil-A.
Okay, so yoga
Pliables.
6 and
Or
then
Five Bowls. Oh, that's
can people find you on Instagram, or are you into that, or just
I am on Instagram.
okay?
we can drop the handle in the
we can drop it
comments.
on.
You want to tell us what it is, though, or no? Or you,
It's Yogini
okay.
D. Rut.
All right. Well, we'll drop it
If
in the
you're okay
comments.
with that.
Totally
Yeah,
fine.
we'll post it for sure.
We do,
Okay.
I think we should play our little.
Yeah, we're gonna do a
Yeah.
quick we could talk. Like I always say this because we have the best guests on here, and this has
know.
been awesome.
Yeah.
And we could talk all day, but we're gonna just finish this off with some quick questions.
Okay.
Lightning round. You
yeah.
want to go first?
Sure. Okay. So, if you could be anything, like career-wise, like anything at all, what would it be, other than what you're currently doing?
I'd love to be an actress.
Oh, yeah,
Movies.
I love
that would be really fun. So interesting.
You would kill it.
I have a feeling you're gonna have a good answer for this. I'm gonna ask. I ask this a lot, but what's like a book that's changed your life that you love, or maybe something you read recently that really resonated? It can be fiction or nonfiction, but just a book that you recommend.
I am admittedly not a huge reader right
Okay,
now.
okay, that's okay. Or like maybe like
but-
something you've watched, or
I watch too much.
Okay.
But books wise,
Yes.
The Great Gatsby is my favorite book
Okay.
ever.
Right.
I just picked it up again.
Okay.
And I read a book, The Power of Intention,
okay,
by Wayne Dyer,
okay.
who has passed away,
Yep.
but his and that's the most powerful book I've ever read.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's something I try to pass on.
I knew
Okay.
you would have a good answer.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's-
what?
I highly recommend
Okay.
that.
Can we?
if you've
Can I ask what you're watching too, real quick? I mean, I know that's part of.
Right now I'm watching Paradise on Hulu.
Oh.
Okay,
Okay.
that looks
Okay.
good. I haven't
I
started.
do
it
not
yet,
have a
but I want to.
deep yogic answer for that one.
No, you know what? I love that we can watch. Like, I mean, there's so many
Yeah.
great choices. That's fine.
great.
All right, Dee, I know you have something.
So
good.
this will go tie back to wanting to be an actress. If you could join any cast of any TV show, what would it be?
Ooh. Oh my gosh. It's tough.
I know there's so many good ones.
The morning show.
Oh, really?
That's a great.
Because I love John Hamm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is he just not a babe?
Him.
He's great.
And Jennifer Aniston
Yes.
is my inspiration for Arms.
See,
Oh,
Toned
how could you go wrong there?
yeah.
I hope she's
They
listening.
seem like they're amazing.
I'm gonna tag them.
A lot of powerful women in the cast.
Yes.
I love that answer.
Jennifer Aniston, meet us at
Yeah.
the yoga studio.
Yoga
We'll
Six.
go to what is? Give me the name again.
Pliable.
No.
Oh, Yoga
Oh,
Six.
Yoga Six.
Yoga
Yeah,
Six.
we'll go to
Same
Pliable.
name. We'll
I'm
go to
always thinking about the
Pliable.
food part.
Pliable's on us.
Yeah.
And the last, I guess unless you have more,
Go-
but
no, go for
I
it.
love to know. Like, tell us your favorite travel destination or dream travel destination if you haven't been.
My favorite place I've been so far is Italy.
Love it. It's beautiful.
I really right now at my age, I really am drawn to going to see new cultures. I really feel like I want to see what else is out there. We didn't do huge traveling when I was a kid. So my next dream destination is Spain.
Oh,
Wow.
I told my boys if they keep up
Perfect.
with Spanish, we'll go.
Perfect.
But my favorite place to regularly visit is still Delray Beach, Florida.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. It's good to
mean,
have local,
great.
like somewhat local, and then
Yes.
like those
Easy to
big
get to.
ticket trips.
Yes.
Can
Well,
go for a weekend.
Do we have anything?
I just love you so much.
I
I'm
know.
glad we got to do this.
I know.
We're gonna come take a class. You have to be like a member of the studio, or do you do a drop
Yeah, you
in?
can drop in.
Well, maybe
I
we can
love
get
a
a little
drop-in.
field trip for some of our friends at Gage,
Yeah.
and we'll come visit you
God.
and get some yoga in.
so
You guys are
fun.
all so strong.
So
Ooh, or maybe
we've got ideas.
maybe like
could
you
be.
could maybe come teach something somewhere, not a Gage, but I mean like
I would love
if
to.
we open it up to like a 3 girls
that.
yoga.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Outside. It's
Okay.
outdoor
Yes.
season.
It
Brilliant.
is.
So
oh
much
my god.
fun.
We're
Thank
gonna
you
work it.
so much
Yeah, it
for
was
being
such a
here.
pleasure.
We'd love to have you back again and just get more into this. Once we become yogis,
Yes.
we'll really.
Then I'll just be like,
So zen.
Thank you so much, and thank you for listening and watching.
We'll
Have a
see you
good day.
soon.
Bye.